In this video, I'm going to discuss the 3 biggest psychological benefits I'm getting from cycling 30 minutes every single day. As I've said, I'm cycling not for any kind of extreme fitness or anything like that. It's for my mental well-being. I tend to get a bit down in the colder months because of the weather. It's colder, it's more difficult. My back gets a bit achy actually. Getting out of bed is sometimes quite difficult. So I've taken up cycling to give myself a positive mental space. It's meditative. And the reason why I think cycling is so good is that it forces you to be in the present. And I've heard that in the past, and I thought, what does that mean, being in the present? It's not a very familiar term to me. What I've come to understand it meaning is that when you look in the past, you can have potential to regret things, but you can't change them because they're in the past, and that creates kind of stress. So here's the present. In the future hasn't come. It's not sure. You don't know what's going to happen. So again, if you have a negative mindset, there's a tendency to think that negative things are going to happen. Also, you can get overwhelmed by the things that you have to do, maybe at work. There's 1,000 things, and you go, oh God, and you panic, and it short circuits your brain. This is a negative thing. So being in the present forces you to, well, you can't think about either of those things. The regret, the regret-filled past, or the anxiety-ridden future. You have to just be in the present, and you realize that everything's okay. You can breathe. You are. It's enough. And cycling is really great for that because you have to focus on what you're doing. You know, if you're going along the road, you have to focus on not hitting a pothole, not hitting a pigeon, not cycling into a lamppost. All these things. Not get hit by a car. So you're in the present, you're being forced to leave all other crap behind, leave the future and the past behind. You're just in the moment. And you're breathing. That also helps. When you breathe, it takes you into the moment because you're just being, as opposed to aspiring to something you haven't got or would you like. There's not that sense of lack. I'm here and I want here. Often the future involves that. There's a feeling of lack. Whereas when you're here, you're just breathing. That's it. There's nothing more to do. You don't need anything else in that moment. I'm not saying you don't need anything else ever, but it just gives you a break from the past and the future. I think obviously these are really important. You have to think about how to do things better, or like what good things happened. You equally have to plan for the future. But sometimes you need a break from those things. And being in the present, I'm not praying. I'm doing this is the present on the timeline. Being in the present is really good for that. Reason number 2 that I've been enjoying this challenge, this process, is that it actively creates a social media habit, which sounds like a negative thing. I don't think it is. What I mean by that is that I think when you're a creator or anyone, and you're putting something out there, whether it be even a thought in conversation or a joke, or maybe you've done some writing, or you've written a song, or you've drawn a picture, anything, you made a film. When you're putting it out there, you have the idea that, oh God, are people going to like this? Which boils down to, are they going to like me? And I'm going to get the door 1 minute. Back to where I was. Being in the present moment, social media habit. That was it. Yeah, when you put stuff out there, there's this kind of fear of rejection, effectively, that people won't like you and you'll be excluded and rendered useless and isolated. That takes place on a small scale every time one puts something out on social media. You kind of think, oh, I really want people to literally like me. And I think it's a good practice to get over that, because if you're a creator, like I'm a creator, that's my job. There's this idea of making things perfect or, really, really good. And I think once you get stuck on that idea of perfection, it's quite limiting, because there's a small fraction of things that you're aiming to do, which restricts your mindset. And I think that taking risks is a big part of what is valuable creatively. It's about pushing boundaries, isn't it? And going into risk and beyond risk and through the boundaries, etc. So when you're focused on making things a certain way, it reduces your mindset and your vision into one small channel of what it should be. But when you start taking risks and doing things which maybe aren't good or are risky because you don't think people are going to like them, then I think it opens up your mindset. And yes, I think my videos that I've been putting out are crap. I think there's something to them, i.e. people I think are getting something from them. Some people are. But they're not going to win me any awards. But I think it's been good for me to get myself through that process of putting things out there which are not perfect. And I'm taking risks, and it's meant that it's opened my mind up to other things. And it's just got me used to it, which I think is a really good thing, because the fear of rejection or failure can be quite restricting, and being comfortable within that, I think, is a positive thing. It is for me. When I look out the window, I think it's cold, therefore I can't cycle. Because I've had to do it, because it's a challenge, and you've got to do a challenge, man. Because I've done that, and I've promised it to my followers, I do it. And it's made me realise that, yes, it might be cold, but it doesn't mean it's cold, I can't do it. It means it's cold, but I'm still going to do it. Or it's cold, but I can still cycle. I can still cycle. And it seems maybe a perceptibly small change, but its actual impact, that mindset, that shift, has been huge. It basically takes it from like a binary black and white, yes, no, into a more complex, nuanced version of reality, which has some optimism and positivity to it. Thank you very much for watching the 3 positive effects, psychological effects I'm getting from cycling every day. So recap, there's first, it's a meditative space, being in the present moment. Secondly, it creates a social media habit and gets me over the fear of rejection. And thirdly, it allows or invites a more positive, nuanced outlook to the world, which moves away from the negative one. So it opens up possibility. Yeah, I hope you've got something from that. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, of course, if you want to see more of these videos. Thumbs up if you like, thumbs down if you don't like. I hope to see you soon. Thank you for watching.